What's poppin'?
I can't leave him alone. I tried that game, but the dope boy turning me on. It's just they know what I want. So bad.
My name is Emma. You can call me Ems. And this is my channel. I haven't posted in a second. It hasn't been that long, but still. I was procrastinating and I didn't know what to do. So today I'm going to be doing a story time about it's kind of like a hard thing to talk about because I never want to talk about it because like it just wasn't a fun part of my life. I mean, there were some fun parts, but it just wasn't majority of it wasn't a fun part of my life. And yes, I have a shirt on, just saying, because it kind of looks like I don't. But yeah, I'm gonna tell a story about my last relationship, pretty much my only relationship. He was pretty much the only boyfriend I've ever had. I'm not gonna say his name, he'll be anonymous. I'm just gonna tell the story of like how bad it was. So I met him June of 2017. We met each other on social media. He had me on Snapchat or something and followed me on Instagram, and he asked for my number and I gave it to him. I was like, why not? Ever since I gave him my number, we just talked like every single day, all day, every single day. And he was amazing. Like in the beginning, like he was so amazing. Like I was like, he's so different, he's so like nice, he's so good, like, you know, like I was like, wow, like I'm so lucky. We talked all day, every single day for 4 months, I think. June, July, August, September, 4 months. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend September of 2017, and of course I said yes. Like I was obsessed with him, like obviously I'm gonna say yes. Like we were official. I was so happy and stuff. Like he asked me while we were with my uncle, like at the lake, so he made it pretty like special. He made me feel special, and then we were all good. And then comes my birthday, November. It wasn't on my birthday because he started to get a little sucky around early November. So around my birthday, he didn't hang out with me on my birthday, but my birthday party, he came over and I went on his phone, and you already know what I found, girl. I went on his phone and saw that he was texting girls that they could get it or whatever. I was heartbroken because I've never felt no way about a guy like I felt for him. So I was heartbroken. I took him back to Bart and I just parked and I cried my eyes out for so long. Like I've never cried so hard in my life, like for real. Like I've never cried so hard in my life. I talked about it with my mom and with my ex-best friend, and I chose to forgive him because I cared about him so much. Like I did not want him . I forgave him after that. I did not trust him like I did before, but I chose to forgive him. Then a couple months went by to January, and I can tell he was acting really like weird, really distant. He was making me feel like he didn't even want to talk to me. So I was very insecure. I felt like I was doing something wrong. I was constantly asking him about it. Constantly wanted assurance, like making sure, you still want me? Do you still want me? Do you still want me? I felt like he didn't want me anymore. I didn't feel like we were connected like we were in the beginning. So eventually he, at the end of January, he told me he didn't want to be with me anymore. And I was heartbroken, like, because I tried so hard to make things work with him, like, through everything. And he just didn't want to be with me anymore. This was 2018 of January. And I was just so heartbroken. I was begging him. I was like, no, like, we could work this out. Like, please don't leave me. I was like, please, please. And he was like, nope. Like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I was like, okay. That was, like, my first, like, horrible heartbreak. I was bawling my eyes out every day for, like, 2 weeks. And then eventually it started, like, you know, getting lower. Like, I would, like, stop thinking about him a little bit. And then every time I thought about him, I'd get upset. But it slowly started to die down. And then I finally realized I can be happy without him. April comes around and he messages me saying how he misses me. He wants me back. So, obviously, I'm stupid and I forgave him. Because, like, I've never had feelings for somebody like that. So I was like, I only want you. Like, I don't know. Like, it sucked. So he messaged me. I forgave him and we hung out. One day we hung out. And then I go home that same day. And he messages me and says he don't want to talk to me anymore. That same day. I felt used. I felt really gross. I felt very stupid. I just felt horrible. And then it, like, restarted my broken heart. I don't know why I'm getting so worked up. Like, I really don't get worked up over this, but, like, talking about it, it gets me so worked up. So we stopped talking again from April, May. Then comes June, he hits me up again saying how he misses me. He wants me back. He's so sorry. Like, all of that stuff, you know. And me being the idiot dummy that I am, I chose to forgive him. And we started talking again, but, like, he told me he didn't want a relationship. He didn't want nothing official. And I just kept telling him, like, if I don't eventually get something, like, I'm gonna be done. Like, because what's the point of being with somebody that I'm in love with if we're not gonna, like, progress? To me, it felt like we were in a relationship. Like, we did all the things that we did before when we actually were in a relationship. We just did everything that people in a relationship do. Like, he just didn't want the title. He didn't want to be official. I brought it up all the time. I brought it up. I was like, I want a relationship. I want a relationship. I want a relationship. And it would always be no with him. It would always be no. He would try to stop talking to me because I always asked for it. There was this time where we got into this really big fight. We were in my room and I was trying to be all like lovey-dovey with him, like give him kisses and, you know, and why am I like this? And he acted like he didn't want it, like he was like backing up, like stop touching me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what's wrong with you, like, dude? And so he kept going on his phone, and I was like, let me see your phone, because you're not touching me and you all up on your phone, like, He tried so hard to not give me his phone. And we got into this huge fight. He tried to leave. I was like, nope, you're not leaving, blah, blah, blah. Then he like gave me his phone. I checked it and he was talking to girls, of course. He was talking to girls. And I was like crying, bawling my eyes out. Oh my gosh. He just kept yelling and I was yelling, like I was screaming my freaking head off, like I was so mad. Oh, my family came home and he didn't want to fight because he don't want to seem like the bad guy in front of my family. But we went on a walk and we talked, and then he pretty much tried to end it with me. And I walked back home, but he left his backpack at my house. So he came back and I took his backpack inside because I was like, my theory was, because he left his backpack outside, and I was like, I'm taking his backpack inside so he has to come talk to me again. So I took his backpack inside and he came back and we talked. He just like, he was so persuasive, you know, like he was so like, whenever you would talk to him, he'd be so convincing. He's like, if he says he's sorry, he legit seemed sorry. So like, obviously I'm like, you guys gotta understand like how much I was into this guy. Like, you gotta understand how much I was into this guy to have forgiven him so many times. So we talked again. I forgave him. I swear. I'm an idiot. Oh my gosh. I became very, very insecure. I became very insecure as a person and as a partner. I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, why? Like, why does he have to go to another girl? Like, I was like, why does he have to go to another girl? Like, I'm literally doing everything that I can to make this guy happy. He never posted me. He might have posted me 2 or 3 times throughout the entire time I was with him, which is almost 2 years. He might have posted me 2 or 3 times on Snapchat. I admit, he hyped me up in the beginning a lot. Like, he called me beautiful all the time. He made me feel special all the time in the beginning. What What was that? Yeah, he made me feel special all the time in the beginning, but around this time, like, and near the end of 2018, like, he never hyped me up. I always had to, like, tell him that. I always told him he never hyped me up. He's like, in one ear, out the other, like, you know. I was going all in, giving all my effort and, like, putting my happiness to the side just so he could be happy, all for, like, I get nothing. So time goes on. Time goes on, and we're at my house, and he just, like, long story short, I find out he was texting his friend saying, cause he went to a couple parties a couple times, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm not gonna stop him from going to a party. Like, I'm not gonna be like, you can't go, you can't go. Like, no, that's not me. Like, if you want to go to a party, go to a party, but, like, do what you're supposed to do. He texted his friend talking about a girl, saying that she can get it. Like, if she didn't have a boyfriend, she could get it. I was like, oh, like, So, got into a fight about that. This time he was more like, I was, like, in awe. He acted like he didn't do anything wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. So, he just acted like he didn't do anything wrong. Like, I was like, how did you not do anything wrong? Like, you're pretty much with me, and you're saying another girl can get it if she didn't have a boyfriend. I was like, well, what would have happened if she didn't have a boyfriend? Like, what would you have done? We got into a fight again, and you know me, dumb. I'm an idiot, and I forgave him. Don't ask me why. Please don't ask me why I forgave him so many times. Like, literally, I don't know. After that, like, all I remember is, like, fighting with him all the time. Like, literally all the time. I fought with him all the time. Like, he would constantly, like, try to stop talking to me. Like, he'll say, we need to take a break, or we're just gonna end this. Like, all the time. I'd constantly beg him not to do that. Like, I'd constantly beg him. I'd like, no, like, we don't need to take a break, blah, blah, blah. Like, it literally, like, he made me cry all the time. So, our fights got to the point where I was, like, literally, like, all the time walking on eggshells. Like, I did everything in my power not to fight with him. Like, I did everything he wanted me to do. I tried so hard to just be nice, just chillax. Like, it was so hard, like, because everything ticks him off. Like, everything made him mad, and I was just like, I didn't even, like, do anything. Every time he would do something wrong and I would get mad, he'd flip it around on me and try and end it with me. So every time I would get mad, he would get mad at me and be like, done. And then that would be me begging him not to leave me, because, like, I just didn't want things to end with him. I just wanted, in my head, I was only picturing us, like, being happy. I was telling myself, like, we're gonna get through this hard time. Like, we're gonna be happy eventually. It just got so bad to where, like, I was scared to fight with him because I knew he would end it with me. And I didn't want to lose him. Don't get me wrong, like, we had moments where we were happy, you know? Like, we'd hang out and we'd just have a good time together sometimes, you know? Like, but it shouldn't be to the point of where I'm, like, applauding him for being nice to me. I shouldn't have to applaud you for being nice to me. It should be like a given, you know? Like, like every time he was like nice to me, I was like, I just got so excited every time he was nice to me, and it wouldn't last long. January, February, 2019, he tells me he's gonna go to the gym. So he told me, I'm gonna go to the gym. He sent me some hearts, and I was like, okay. And so I chill, I leave him alone while he's at the gym. And I go on social media maybe an hour or two later, and I see that he blocked me on everything. And I was like, bro, like, what's going on? And so I texted him and I was like, why are you blocking me on everything? And he blocked me. He blocked my phone number. So I start freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what did I do? And so I went on my spam account and I DM'd him and I was like, why are you blocking me? Like, why are you blocking me? And he blocked my spam account. He read it and he blocked my spam account. So I start bawling my eyes out. Like, I was like, and my mom was in Jamaica at the time. Like, she was at a wedding in Jamaica. So I didn't even have my mom to, like, cry on her shoulder. Like, I was alone. And I just started, like, bawling my eyes out. And I called her and I was like, he blocked me on everything. Like, I didn't even do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, I don't even know what I did. Like, and she told me, she was like, he's a horrible person. Like, he has another girl. Like, she was, like, so blunt. She was so blunt. She was like, he has another girl and she found out. And she made him block you. I was like, you're 100% right. I probably cried for like 10 minutes. And then I stopped. I was like, you know what? It ain't my loss, it's his loss. Because he didn't do everything in his power to make me happy. I did everything in my power to make him happy. So who's the one who's really losing who? Like, I gave him all of me. I gave him my happiness. Like, I literally ripped out my heart and gave it to him. But he didn't give me nothing. He didn't give me anything. So after I called my mom and told her that, and she was like, he's got another girl, I was like, screw this. I stopped crying. I blocked him on everything too. So I blocked him right back because I knew, like, I was 100% sure that he was gonna unblock me and message me. That night I was going to a party. So I got ready. I went to that party and I had like a really good night. Like, I wasn't thinking about him. I just had a really good night, and I was like, I really felt done with him. and it made me really happy. So the next day, I think it was the next day, maybe the next day or a couple of days later, he texted me off somebody else's phone because I had his number blocked. And he was like, can you let me explain what happened before you cut me out of your life? And I was just like, don't talk to me. So I moved on. I pretty much stopped thinking about him. I was completely over him. It gets to a point, like, people take advantage of you. Like, people really do take advantage of your goodness, and they think that you're always gonna be there, and you're not. Like, you hurt somebody so many times, they're not gonna forgive you anymore. Like, yes, I forgave him so many times, but it got to a point where I was like, you don't deserve me anymore. Like, for real, like, you don't. I completely stopped thinking about him. I deleted all of our pictures and videos. I just got rid of everything. I got rid of the clothes he gave me. I was completely done, and I did not care. I did not. So I knew I was done, and I moved on. Like, I started talking to other guys. I just started having my own fun. I was single. I was just having fun. He would send his family members to talk to me. And I knew it was him. I knew he was trying to, you know, get to me, see if I missed him. Eventually, because I loved his family. Like, I really loved his family so much. And it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this. Like, you sending your family to me, like, it's hurting me. Like, just stop. So I talked to him. I was like, you need to stop sending your family to me. Like, I'm not going to be with you anymore. And that's that. Like, you know? I was like, you got another girl. Don't understand, like, what's going on. And I knew he had another girl because I saw it on Twitter. I peeped it on Twitter, so I knew he had another girl, and he tried to lie to me and say he didn't have a girl. And I was like, here it is. Like, I found it. Here it is. So he tried to lie to me. But he still said he wanted me. And I was like, no. He just kept making it clear that he wanted me so bad, and I was just like, no. Like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So talking to him, like, it did make me miss him a little bit, but right after that, he was posting her on Twitter, she was posting him on Twitter. I was just like, you literally just tried to get back with me, and you're posting her now. I was like, okay. It kind of hurt my feelings because he's just a liar. He's just a liar, and he's a cheater. Like, he is manipulative. And it's just like, I was right. Like, he just really tore me apart that entire time. Yeah, the last time I talked to him, I kind of went off on him a little bit, but honestly, I don't regret anything that I said to him because I treated him like so good. I was loyal to him and only him. I never did anything behind his back. I had his back. Like, my family talked about him, saying they don't like him, saying he's not a good guy. Like, break up with him, break up with him, break up with him. And I'm like, I'd always get so mad at them. Like, I'd get so mad at them. Like, it infuriate me because I didn't care. Like, I wanted him. Like, I did not care what they wanted. I wanted him. And all I was worried about was what I wanted. As the person in the relationship, if you're getting, like, torn down like that all the time, you have to come to that conclusion on your own terms. Like, you can't just be like listening to people like that and easily make that decision. You have to feel like that's the right thing. And I know my friends were right. I knew my friends and family were like, they were saying it with like the right part of their hearts, but I didn't listen to them. I didn't want to listen to them. I didn't want to hear them say anything. You gotta let them make that decision on their own and not be all up in their ear, because honestly, it makes the situation so much worse. Like, it makes it so much harder on the person being torn down. Like, you're not making anything easier for them. I think that me not talking to him anymore was probably the best decision I've ever made. I've been more happy than I've been in the past 2 years. Being alone and not having to deal with that constant put downs, it's just a lot better for your happiness, instead of sticking around and thinking that they're gonna change when they're not gonna change. Like, honestly, I constantly was telling myself he was gonna change eventually. Like, he'll realize, I constantly told myself he'll realize how good I am to him, but he never did. And I'm telling you guys, like, if it takes him more than, like, honestly, almost 2 years, I kept telling myself that, and he did not change. And I still don't think he ever is gonna change. Just don't put up with that stuff. Like, it's not gonna get better. It's really not. Like, I really told myself all the time that it would get better, but it wasn't. It was not gonna get better. And it was honestly probably the hardest year and a half of my life. I honestly don't know why I got so emotional talking about that. Like, I never get emotional thinking about it, but like, I don't know why I got emotional. That was the story of my last relationship. It was not fun. And honestly, like, I'm really glad that I'm out of it. I'm really glad that I'm just by myself now and I could just be happy and focus on me. Like, ever since I got out of that, my confidence came back. I'm just a happier person. I feel better and more secure about myself, and realize that it wasn't me. I think God just put me through that to tell me to never put my standards down again. Like, never lower my standards for somebody, because I literally threw away my standards for him. So if you got standards, you got certain things that you want in a man, do not drop those standards for nobody. For real. Like, don't. Because they're just going to get worse and worse throughout the times of you being with that person. Just don't lower your standards for anybody. Keep what you want and don't settle for any less. Period. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Really appreciate it, because I got so emotional. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. What's poppin'? Me.